Yeah, the lighting isn't all that good, but shouldn't take that long for me to get my point across. So, you know, time and time again, I find myself apologizing for the lack of content on the channel. Um, but as you guys know, this pandemic, this outbreak, has really taken its toll on a lot of people, especially myself. Now, over the course of the past couple of weeks, I've put out several videos in regards to uh, the virus, as I gotta name it, because if I call it what it is, YouTube is gonna take the video down, and I might have to deal with some other troubles that I've had to deal with, which I'm gonna talk about in the video. So work has been tiring. It's been exhausting. And even though I'm sitting here looking like an episode of some sitcom, I'm I'm worn out. Even this week they got me. Yesterday was my only day off, and I got to work the rest of this week, possibly crossing over into the following week, because I don't know, because the next work schedule doesn't get posted until like Friday or something, and I got to deal with that. So yeah. Um, I So I've been trying to figure out how to maneuver throughout all this to where I can still do live streams and get you might hear that stuff in the background. That's kind of like my YouTube videos I use to help me sleep, like ASMR videos and all that. But yeah, I've been trying to navigate through my work schedule and when I get home to try to find time to live stream certain things, and it's just a difficult experience because I had no clue that, even though my store that I work at, the store that I work at, isn't as bad as some other stores, like the Walmart that's up the street from me and all that. Uh, Even though it's not as bad as those other stores, it's still kind of hitting hard because we still got to keep the shelf stock and things like that. But let me say this, and this is the thing that I really wanted to talk about in the video. The way you see people, again, I named several people in the previous videos that I've done in regards to this. Check out the vlogs playlist on my YouTube channel, and you'll see all the videos that I have of me speaking on things like this. Um, the way that this virus is being pushed does not coincide with how things actually are. You know, and what's crazy is that I had this conversation uh, with someone, and I mentioned that all it's going to take, because things were starting to improve. Once this pandemic hit, people from at least from what I can tell, started buying up a shit ton, no pun intended, of bathroom tissue, buying up all of the toilet paper, what have you. Um, Buying up all the hand sanitizer, et cetera, et cetera. And people are allowing television and the fear of what they think is going to happen, or rather what they're being told is going to happen, to affect what they're actually seeing. And because of perception is reality for a lot of people, they're acting based on that way of thinking. And if you would just look outside and see, it's not as bad as when they start inducing panic among people, excuse me. Like once this pandemic first hit, right? Everything was, we did get hit kind of hard. I'm talking about from my personal experience. at the store I work at. We got hit kind of hard, but slowly for surely, it was like that 1 week. It was pandemonium. The week after that, things started to improve. The week after that, things started to improve a little bit more. And it was around this time I had the conversation with somebody, and I said, even though things are improving, all it's going to take is for somebody to get on TV and say, oh, things are getting worse and things are getting bad, and I promise you it's going to cause a pandemic all over again, as far as like the panic buying and all that crap. And that's what happened. Everything was improving. People slowly started to get back into buying things at a regular pace. Shelves were getting filled back up, and then it's just like all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Trump put out it's going to get worse, and then people started panicking again. And it's just like, if people do not understand that fear is the virus. You know what I mean? Fear is the virus, man. Fear is the virus itself. If you know how to boost your immune system with elderberry syrup, or sea moss, or bladderwhack, and all these other nutrients and herbal supplements that actually that's been proven to boost the immune system, you can survive this fear, because a lot of this fear is coming from lack of knowledge. The average person doesn't really think when it comes to things like this. The majority of people in the world, all they're focused on is like partying, getting drunk, just being flashing their money, just doing stupid things, which in the long haul doesn't really help improve your knowledge on anything. It's like, as long as you can have fun, America is really out of sight, out of mind. As long as they're not thinking about it, they feel like it doesn't exist. Even if you were hip to it happening in other countries, if it's not happening here, it doesn't exist. It's a myth and all that. So we've seen videos of people in China wearing masks when the SARS thing hit. When all these other foreign countries were going all these things, I seen people in America making fun of them. Now when America gets hit with something that really nobody should be worrying about, if you know how to defend yourself against viruses, period. You know what I'm saying? All viruses have the same weakness. And the human body can like the corona. I almost said it, but the virus has been around for a lot longer than we know. And the human body is a self-healing organism that, if you eat the right things and you take the right herbs and you take the right supplements and things like that, your body will fend all this off on its own. A lot of people, and I understand a lot of people want to sit there and say, oh, wear your mask and wear your gloves. Look, here's the thing, right? They told you to wear the gloves and wear the mask. The world, I think it was called the World Health Organization, or whatever the organization is that, that oversees the health of the nation. Well, not even that. I went to several hospitals around here. The hospitals here are empty. I'm not talking about like there's no workers there. I'm talking about the hospitals aren't packed like they trying to push on television. I heard them say several hospitals in the area are packed. I went to a couple of these hospitals. These hospitals are empty, bro. There's like, it's easy to just get in there and get out, basically. Get seen, get out. It's easy for that. Because I had an electric jack roll over my foot at work, and I went to the hospital, and I went to the emergency room to get x-rays done, and it was like they barely had any patients in there. You know what I mean? It's like, where's all this panic? and all the hospitals being filled up and all this nonsense. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just not what I'm seeing on television isn't what's actually happening outside my home. You know what I mean? And it's a shame that it's sad, because when you know and you realize other people don't know, it kind of puts you at like a standstill, because you want to say something to people, but people are so gullible to believe in whatever they see on television or whatever they read on the internet as the truth, that they don't try to put any time into studying it and just researching for themselves. And like, when you say research, that doesn't mean you have to go look through about like 100 books to find out information. You know what I mean? You can just Google this information for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And test it out. Like, it's not that big of a pain in the ass, especially now. I promise you, if people will just buy things, go back to buying things at the regular pace that they normally would buy them, I guarantee you things will go back to normal. Even with this pandemic, it's not that. I can't stress it enough. I see a lot of videos on YouTube of people putting out videos talking about how, they had this, several famous YouTubers got this Dr. Fauci or Fossey or whatever his name is on there talking about the virus and all that. And it's like, they're all asking the exact same damn questions. Like, they're asking, oh, people can people have it and not have symptoms? And it's like they're just feeding into the fear for views, and it's a headache, bro. Another thing, as far as this virus go, they try to make it seem there's a conspiracy theory out, which I'm kind of privy to into believe. I'm not just gonna believe it, but it does hold merit. Now, the conspiracy theory is this: a lot of these people that's panicking over this virus, they don't even know where it started. They just know it's happened somewhere in China, but they don't pinpoint exactly where in China it happened. So the virus actually started in a city called Wuhan, China. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a rural area or if it's a city, but I believe it's a city called Wuhan, China, right? Now, Wuhan, China, supposedly the way they try to make it seem is that bats, they have it on their skin. And apparently it was transferred from bat to human contact or something like that. And that's how it spread, apparently. Because bats, they do urinate upside down, and the urine gets on their skin and what have you. Now, of course, bats, they don't take baths and things like that. They poop, and they in the caves that they're in, and all that fecal matter, viruses and bacteria are going to basically accumulate on their skin and on or pretty much wherever they are. You know what I mean? So they're trying to make it seem like it was like a bat to human, some interaction between a bat and a human. I don't know, because I believe in certain parts they actually eat bats over there in foreign countries. So I'm believing that's what they're trying to say. Somebody tried to consume a bat. Maybe it wasn't cooked properly, and they ended up catching it, and then it just spread. Basically, that's the story that they're putting out there. The conspiracy theories, what comes in is that that's a bunch of hogwash, and there's actually an institute called the Wuhan Institute of Virology. And basically, from what I can tell, is that supposedly it's supposed to be like a bioweapons uh, and like a virus like research type of institute where they research viruses and various points of various bacteria and chemicals and what have you, in order to I don't really know what they do, because I didn't look that deep into it. I just basically read about the institute. I didn't really go too deep into it. And because of that, the virus somehow leaked out from the institute, and that's how it spread. Maybe somebody dropped a test tube or dropped like a little glass plate or something, and it ended up spreading like that. That's basically how they're trying to. That's what the conspiracy theory is. I'm kind of caught in between. Like, I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel like this was man-made. But regardless of what or where it came from, if you boost your immune system, you don't have anything to worry about. It's a virus. It's a virus. It's nothing that your body can't ward off naturally, as long as you're taking the right foods, as long as you're ingesting the right things. You know what I mean? Lack of knowledge, like a little bit of knowledge goes a long way. And I found out that in China, they had 16 makeshift hospitals that they closed all 16. And now China supposedly has the highest recovery rate of this virus ever since it started. And that's supposedly where it came from. And now they have the most case. So basically, they're already healing their people already. I don't know, bro. And then I put a video. Some of y'all know I put a video out. In the video, and I still have the video on my phone. I still have it on my Instagram, and you guys can go watch it there if you want to watch it on my Instagram. Because I uploaded it to YouTube, and YouTube took the video down within like a few days. Or I think it was like a week, or a few days, or a week. But it was up there for a while before YouTube took it down. And I tried to appeal it, and less than 30 seconds later, it was like less than 10 seconds. No, probably like around like 15, 20 seconds maybe. I got an immediate email from YouTube talking about the appeal was denied, or it didn't go through, and they stand on their decision to delete the video. Now, in the video, it was a doctor that had basically was reporting on this French study where they took a small group of virus positive patients, and they gave them 2 antibiotics, and he had the antibiotics on like a piece of paper that he held up, and the dosage that they gave them over the course of several days. And basically what it did is that it cleaned the virus out of their bloodstream, and the people got cured. Now, I put that video up, and YouTube took that video down. But all the other videos of people like constantly pushing this fear of the virus and this situation that we're all living in, those videos get to stay up. And I just find it funny that a video that would probably give people some hope or some relief that, hey, guess what? The chemical that you were asking for, because that's what a lot of people are waiting on. A lot of people have been brainwashed into thinking that a chemical is the only way to cure this, when China was using liquid vitamin C to cure the people that were over there that was positive with it. So they were using like vitamin C as well as several other things to cure people in their country, and they have the most recovery cases of any country. But we sitting over here waiting on a chemical. Mother Nature has everything we need, bro. If you look up fruits that boost your immunity, you basically got all the knowledge that you need to survive this. Another thing is that a doctor, my cousin sent me a video of a doctor actually, basically telling me everything I'm telling you guys, and that the virus actually dies in 80-degree weather. Viruses, they only thrive in cold weather. That's how they multiply, and that's how they get their, basically viruses thrive in the cold. the hotter it is, viruses don't exist. So viruses get killed in 80-degree weather. And in this part of California, if history repeats itself, this virus is going to be dead by the time the summer gets around. So we're almost near May. May is basically when things are supposed to heat up, and that's when the virus is supposed to get killed. So that being said, man, we can all just calm down and not panic. Wait till it gets hot. I know some of us hate the heat, but keep yourself healthy, boost your immune system, and just get back to normal, man. Don't panic. This crap is going to be over, and then we all going to look back on it, and hopefully we become wiser and more intelligent.